Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Hard Knocks MMA channel where we talk about all things combat. If you don't mind liking the video, clicking the subscribe button for me if you want more engaging content, and also leave your thoughts and opinions down below about this topic. And without further ado, let's get into it. As we already know, Dricus Du Plessis is the middleweight champion of the world, and despite proving many people wrong over and over and over again, people still have their doubts about him in this upcoming fight with Khamzat Chimaev. Many people still think that DDP doesn't stand a chance, but I'm here to say not so fast. So in this video, I'm going to give you 8, yes, you heard me right, 8 hardcore reasons why, with evidence, why Dricus Du Plessis is going to not only win, but destroy and dominate Khamzat Chimaev. The first reason is pretty obvious, but still very notable. DDP is massive, he's strong and he is powerful, and his power transfers to both the striking and the grappling. No, he doesn't have one-shot knockout power, but he can land some severely devastating shots. I mean, he knocked out Robert Whittaker with one punch. He was able to rock Israel Adesanya in the 4th round and eventually get the submission. And he also broke Sean Strickland's nose. Did you guys even watch UFC 312? And because of this, DDP will certainly be the biggest and the best fighter Khamzat Chimaev has ever fought. And I'm not so sure if Khamzat Chimaev is just going to be able to ragdoll DDP like he does everybody else. The second reason is that DDP has amazing cardio. He was able to fight Sean Strickland and was able to stand with him all 5 rounds, or 10 rounds now since they fought twice, and was able to match his pace and pressure for all 10 rounds without gassing out. And Khamzat Chimaev is known to have a bit of a gas tank issue where he tends to gas out if he doesn't get the finish in the first round. And I believe if DDP survives the first round and Khamzat starts to get tired, that's when we can start to see DDP starting to light up and win on the feet against Khamzat Chimaev. And that brings me to my third reason, which is that Khamzat Chimaev has bad defense. I'm not sure if it's because of his cardio or whichever one it is, but Khamzat Chimaev does not do a good job of blocking, anticipating, rolling, and dodging punches. He tends to just stay there and eat. He tends to just stay there and just eat punches. And that's a very dangerous game if you want to play that with Dricus Du Plessis, because DDP always wins when people make the fight a barn burner. And I'm not so sure if Khamzat Chimaev will be able to slug it out with DDP in the pocket. In addition to this fact, DDP also put on a striking masterclass against Sean Strickland, who is known to have the best defensive boxing in the entire UFC. He's one of the hardest people to hit, and DDP was able to completely outstrike and outclass him on the feet. So if DDP is able to do that against a guy with amazing defense, it's only reasonable to believe he's going to do phenomenal against a guy with bad defense. The fourth reason is that DDP has such an underrated grappling game. He has underrated jiu-jitsu and underrated wrestling. He's so underrated in those two aspects. I mean, like, dang, he submitted Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya, prior to that point, had never been submitted in his entire career, but DDP was able to get the job done. And on top of that, DDP submitted an entire high-level Gracie wrestling jiu-jitsu team, showing that he's not a slouch on the feet. And okay, fine, these guys are not on the same level of Khamzat Chimaev, but I'm just trying to say that when people talk about this matchup, they need to stop talking about it as if DDP is some sort of nobody on the ground. And not to only mention how big and massive DDP is going to be against Khamzat Chimaev. Remember something, guys, in grappling, size is very important. You can be as skilled as you want, but if somebody's just bigger than you, is just more massive than you, it neutralizes all that skill, especially if that person has a bit of skill to themselves as well. And that's exactly what we saw happen with Khamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman, and also with Gilbert Burns. Those guys were just smaller than him, older than him, and they were totally able to defend against Khamzat Chimaev's takedowns and also stand their ground on the feet as well, and also survive the first round. DDP, when he fights Khamzat Chimaev, DDP is not small like Gilbert Burns, and he's not old like Kamaru Usman. And on top of that, DDP doesn't have crazy injuries with his knees or whatever like Kamaru Usman too. And on top of that, DDP won't be on 10 days notice like Kamaru Usman either. When DDP and Khamzat Chimaev fight, DDP is going to be young, fresh, strong, and ready for anything. And this brings me to my 5th reason why I think DDP is going to absolutely dominate against Khamzat Chimaev, which is that DDP has phenomenal and great defense and amazing durability. Now, One thing that people will always talk about Khamzat Chimaev, that they'll tell you that, oh, Khamzat Chimaev has one-shot KO power, he's a very dangerous offensive striker, and that is true, but DDP is genuinely, and I really mean this, genuinely one of the most defensively responsible fighters in the UFC middleweight division. If you watch all of DDP's fights, you'll notice that DDP rarely gets rocked, rarely gets chinned or dazed by anything really. DDP is ultra durable. He can take so much damage, so much punishment in the world, and you'll just keep on fighting and coming back no matter what. The sixth reason, which is a very underrated reason on why DDP just keeps on winning, is that DDP is smart. I think a lot of people forget about that with DDP. DDP, he's smart, he's intelligent, he's one of the smartest fighters in the entire UFC. DDP, I know some people make fun of him for looking goofy and looking dumb, but believe me, he is not dumb. His game plans are so good, so unique, so incredible, so precise and surprising that it's hard to know what DDP is even going to do. He's unpredictable in that sense. He has a great, smart coaches on by his side, ready to give him any type of advice and tweaks that he needs to make. DDP is known for making midway adjustments in matches and coming back and winning in spectacular fashion. Another thing is that DDP always specializes against the guys he's going to fight. If you watch his fights, once again, like I said before, his fights are not the same. They're really, really not. If you watch one fight of DDP and the next fight of DDP, it's almost like you're watching a completely different fighter at times, because DDP specializes so well around who he's going to fight, and that's what makes him so interesting. I also love how in each fight he leverages his strengths to beat his opponent, and that brings me to the next reason, which is DDP's mentality. DDP doesn't run, he doesn't hide, he doesn't scream, he doesn't fake, he doesn't do any of that, he doesn't run away. DDP stands strong, he holds his ground, and he fights like a man. He deals with these problems like a man. He doesn't run away from the problem. He is the problem. He doesn't run away from the danger. He is the danger. I have no doubt in my mind when he's going into this fight with Khamzat Chimaev, mentally, he's going to tell himself that he is the danger, he is the fire, he is the predator, and Khamzat is the prey, and he's not going to back down or shy away from anything Khamzat Chimaev is going to do. DDP is willing and dedicated to do anything to win, and he's very professional. Unlike Khamzat, Khamzat's known, he missed weight a couple times, he's always getting sick, he's selling crypto scans. You'll never see DDP doing something like that. You'll never see DDP doing anything he's not supposed to do. And that brings me so much confidence that DDP is going to win. And that brings me to my final reason why you should have heavy inclinations and beliefs why DDP is going to surely win this matchup, which is that the eighth reason, DDP is always improving. I spoke about this a little bit earlier, which is that DDP is always innovating. He's always getting better. Genuinely, he's not the type of guy to stay comfortable, stay in one place, and then just get comfortable there, right? He's constantly improving, getting better, tweaking, refining, improving all of his skill sets. If you watch DDP's career, right, you can't compare the fight he recently had with the fight that he had 2-3 fights ago. It's almost like it's night and day difference with the improvements and the adjustments that he makes. So that gives me all the confidence in the world that DDP has more than enough assets, tools, smarts, and physical ability he needs to not only stand with Khamzat, but also win and dominate Khamzat Chimaev in their upcoming matchup. So people will keep speaking, will keep on having their doubts, will keep on doubting, but just like always, DDP is going to prove them wrong once again. And that's the video, you guys. I want to say thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video and subscribe. It really helps a lot. And if you have any thoughts or opinions in your head right now, please share them with us. We want to know them. We want to hear them. And that's all for today, guys. Please also click the subscribe button. I really need it. But aside from that, that's all for today, guys. Hard Knock fans, until next time, I'm out.